Stop allowing excuses to kill your dream. You have great potential, but the problem is your excuses are robbing you of the opportunity to make your dream reality. And what's going to happen is, if you keep making excuses day after day, month after month, year after year, you're going to wake up and you're going to be older. And you will have made no progress on your dream. That's going to cause you to be frustrated, sad, and feel like you wasted your life. So if you're headed in this direction, in this video, I'm going to give you 5 reasons on why you need to stop allowing excuses to kill your dream. What's up, it's Gene. This word to be great. The first reason that you need to stop allowing your excuses to kill your dream is that your excuses are keeping you from developing a belief in yourself. I once spoke at this school, and after I was done, one of the students came up to me and said, "Hey man, it's cool that you've written 9 books. I see you have this book called Word to be Great. That's a great accomplishment. But I could never write a book, even though that's a dream that I have." And I looked that student in the eye and I said to him, "How do you know you can't write a book? You haven't even tried." You see, what that individual was doing is allowing his excuses that he couldn't write a book to keep him from taking action. And because of that, he wasn't developing a belief in himself. And so a lot of us, we're like this student. We have a dream we want to accomplish, but the problem is we allow excuses to kill that dream. We tell ourselves we don't have what it takes. We tell ourselves we can't make it happen. We tell ourselves that if we try, we're going to fail. And because of the excuses we come up with, it keeps us from taking action on our dream. So therefore, we don't develop the belief in ourselves that we can make it a reality. So if you want to start realizing your dream, the first thing you have to realize is that your excuses are keeping you from developing the self-belief in yourself to make it happen. Hey, subscribe to my channel and hit that bell so anytime I post a new video, you're notified. Number 2, your excuses cause you to miss opportunities because of a lack of preparation. I remember when I was laid off back in 2010 and I was really frustrated trying to find a job. And I saw this company that I wanted to try to work for. It was like this major healthcare company. So one day I got a call from the company. They said, "Hey, we would like for you to come and do an interview." Now, I'll be honest with you, I didn't prepare as much as I should have, but I went to the interview anyway, thinking that I could wing myself in the job itself. So when I got to the site at this gigantic warehouse, this guy met me at the door. He walked me around his corporation. He was pointing out all these things to me, and it was all these machines. I saw sunglasses. I saw robes. I saw all kind of products being made. So when we got to the end of our talk, he took me to this room. And when we went in there, I thought to myself that he was going to sit me down and tell me that I've gotten the job. But when we walked in the room, there was this little bitty lady in there. She was about 6 years old. She looked at me and she said, "Young man, have a seat." So I sit down and I find out in that moment that that lady was the hiring manager. She looked me in the eye. She said, "What do you think about the tour?" I said, "It was a great tour. I feel like this is a great company for me to work at." She said, "Let me ask you this question. What are we not?" Now, I thought that was a weird question she asked me. I said, "What do you mean, ma'am?" She said, "What are we not? What type of company are we not?" So I thought about it for a second. I looked at her and I said, "One thing I know for sure is you are not a pharmaceutical corporation." That lady looked at the guy that took me on the tour. She looked at me and smiled. She said, "That's amazing that you say that, because we are the second largest pharmaceutical company in the state of Texas." You see, I had so many excuses on why I couldn't prepare for that job. I said I was tired. I said I didn't have enough time. And because of my excuses, it caused me to miss on that opportunity because of my lack of preparation. You see, you have a dream you want to accomplish. You have goals you want to realize, but you're making so many excuses. You're telling yourself all the reasons you cannot do this and that. You're telling yourself all the reasons you cannot be successful. And when the opportunity comes your way, you won't be able to take advantage of it because your excuses have caused you to miss out on it because of your lack of preparation. So if you want to realize your dreams, you have to realize you have to throw those excuses to the side and prepare yourself. So when those opportunities come up in your life, you are prepared to take advantage of them and start to achieve your dream. What has unworthiness already cost you? How many times have you given up on a dream or not even started because you didn't think you were enough? Imagine what you could accomplish if you truly believed in your value instead of sabotaging yourself because of low self-worth. My premium ebook, Worthy to be Great, can help you change that. It teaches practical skills and tools that will help you transform your life by building unshakable self-worth. So if you're sick and tired of low self-worth stealing your dreams, click the link below and get the premium ebook Worthy to be Great today. 3. Excuses will lead to you having regret. When I was in our first year of college, I went home and I was chilling with my homegirls and her 2 little cousins. And she said to me, would you drive me to my aunt's house so we can drop my cousins off? So we get over there, and when we walk inside the house, we walk in and it smells like mothballs, like the person that was living there was like in her 70s or 80s. Now we get in there, her auntie was sitting in her rocking chair. She was about 55 years old. She was staring at me, and my friend said, hey, my cousins and I are going to go into the kitchen and make some sandwiches. So when I was sitting in the living room with her auntie, and she was looking at me awkwardly, she said to me, young man, what are you doing with your life? And I looked at her and I said, ma'am, I'm in college right now. I have a dream of one day, playing the NBA. I have a dream one day of having a business or something. And she looked at me with a smirk on her face. She said, you are a dreamer. I like that. I once had a dream of being a radio broadcaster. And I said to her, okay, how did that go? How was your years of being a radio broadcaster? And she looked at me and she said, I don't know because I never tried. I said, why you didn't try? She said, well, life got in the way. I got a job. I had this go on. I had a divorce. So many things happened in my life that I never got around to working on my dream as a radio broadcaster. And she said to me, the thing that hurts me the most is because now I have so much regret that I probably could have made it happen. You see, this lady allowed her excuses to cause her to have regret. And that's what's going to happen to you. If you have a dream and you keep making excuses and you see those years go by and you get older and older, eventually you're going to meet somebody that's going to ask you about your dream. And the only thing you will have to say is you never tried. So if you want your dreams to become a reality, you have to realize that you have the power to make it happen. But as long as you have those excuses running your life, it's going to lead to you having regret. So if you want to realize your dream, this is another reason you need to get rid of your excuses. So just like this lady, you won't have your own rocking chair of regret. 4. Your excuses cause you to develop a what-if mentality. When I was substitute teaching, years ago, I was in the cafeteria and there was another sub in there with me as well. And this guy was about 70 years old, and he walked up to me and he said, hey man, what do you want to do with your life? And I told him, listen man, I am building a motivational speaking business. I want to speak at a lot of schools. I want to write more books. And I was telling about all the things that I was doing. And he looked at me and he said, man, I had that same dream. I said, really? So you became a speaker? He said, no, man, I never tried. I was a teacher and I knew I could have made a difference. I could have done all these things, but I never tried to become a motivational speaker. And I'm always wondering, what if? You see, this individual, he allowed his excuses to get the best of him. He was a teacher. He had time he could have did. He could have worked on his speaking skills, but he allowed the excuses in his life to keep him from trying. And see, just like him, if you allow excuses to keep you from trying for your dream, to go out there and make it happen, you're going to develop a what-if mentality. You're going to wonder, what if I would have stepped out? What if I tried my dream? What if I went out there and gave it my all? But if you allow those excuses to keep playing in your mind, telling you're not good enough, telling you're too busy, what's going to happen is, just like this man, you're going to develop a what-if mentality. So if you want to realize your dreams and not have to live with the what-if mentality, you have to get rid of your excuses, take action on your dream so you can start to make it happen in your life. And the 5th thing, your excuses can cause you to become a bitter hater of somebody doing what you always want to do. You know, I talked about this before, that when I was in this speech club, I met this lady who was about 75 years old. She came up to me. She was a very nice lady. She said, "How you doing, young man? What's your name?" I told her who I was. She said, "Why are you in the speech club?" And I told her that I was in there because I was continuing to polish my professional speaking skills. So when I go out or I get called to speak, I am always ready. She said, "So how did you become a professional speaker?" I said, "Well, I was in these speech clubs for a long time. I got a speech coach. I practiced a lot, and I kept working on my skills." And she looked at me and she said, "That was always my dream, but I was too afraid to step out. I was too afraid to try to make it happen. And now I'm older. I regret that I didn't go after it. I regret that I didn't even go out and try to make it happen." And you would think that this lady would be encouraging because I was somebody that was younger than her. I was living my dream. I was going out doing the very thing that she always wanted to do. But I was absolutely wrong. That lady started to criticize me all the time. She became very jealous. She started talking negative towards me. And at first I was starting to ignore it, but I realized over time it was starting to get to me. It was bothering me. And she always said all these smart things. "You don't speak good. I don't know how you're a professional." It was just so much negativity. You see, that lady became a bitter hater of me, or somebody that was doing something she always wanted to do. And if you have a dream you want to accomplish and your excuses are getting the best of you, what's going to happen is you're going to get older. And one day you're going to meet somebody younger than you. They're going after that dream that you had, and they make it happen in life. And instead of you being an encouraging person, you can end up a bitter hater. So if you don't want this to happen in your life, I want to encourage you to get rid of your excuses so you don't become that bitter hater. Instead, you become an encourager. You become somebody that inspired others. You become somebody that when somebody asks you, how is it when you went after your dream, you can give them your wisdom. You can tell them how you developed your skills. You can tell them how you took that vision inside you and made it a reality in your life. These are my 5 reasons that you should stop allowing your excuses to kill your dream. And I want to encourage you to take these reasons to heart and throw your excuses to the curb and start working towards your dream on a daily basis so you can make it happen in your life. Because you are worthy to be great. If you like this video, I want to ask you to like and share this video. Also, hit that bell so anytime I post a video, you're notified. I also want to ask you to join my Worthy to Be Great newsletter. This newsletter is designed to help you build your self-worth, your self-discipline, your self-confidence so you can achieve your dreams. So click the link below and join my newsletter today.